The Whose Turn Is It Anyway podcast proudly sponsors the 24-hour board game marathon, a charity event based in Ilminster, Somerset, raising monies for Cots for Tots Bristol, a charity that specialises in helping neonatal babies in intensive care. For more information, look at their website, the 24hourboardgamemarathon.co.uk, or find them on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a podcast that brings you into our gaming group. I'm Becky, your current first player, and today I'm joined by JP.
Hello.
And Rob Dog.
Hi.
Today our episode is all about the second-hand games market, but before we get into all of that, how are we all today?
Slightly hungover. Very hungover.
Yeah, they both look a little bit worse for wear, I'm not going to lie, guys.
I think the voices have dropped an octave today.
Yeah. And no, we weren't shouting. It's not like we were a club or anything. It's
the local.
Yeah. Had some food and a lot of drinks, and then some more drinks.
Yeah.
And yeah, suffering a little bit for it today. Not too bad, just tired and...
Yeah, it's you know, the fact we're like early 40s, right? And some of us are earlier in the 40s than others, i.e. you, Rob.
That would be me.
And yeah, it just takes a little bit longer, doesn't it? Just takes that a little bit longer just to get back to the normal levels of excitement and stuff.
You don't look absolutely hanging.
Just tired.
You both just look a bit like, oh.
Like, were the cherry rums a good idea? Don't know.
Cherry rum.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cherry rum and Coke. So basically, it's a cherry Coke. That makes you go a bit silly.
I could go for that. That sounds pretty good.
Got about three of them.
Quite dangerous, yeah.
But there we go. But other than that, all good.
Good. Yeah, I'm all good. Nice, just regular chilled out Sunday.
Nice.
So it's all good, yeah. By the time this podcast is released, the 2024 UKG will be but a memory. But in the here and now, it's next weekend. So I think it's safe to say we're all super excited about that.
Yeah, we're definitely excited. And now when you hear it, it would be over. So it's kind of in this weird time thing of podcasts, aren't we? But yeah, we can't wait.
So I think the topic in hand is probably pretty relevant for me, the second-hand games market, seeing as the old bring and buy is one of my favourite events.
Watching you come to life at a bring and buy is just a thing of beauty. It's I can't believe somebody so small can carry so much. It's amazing.
When I have got the right motivation, I can be a pack horse, yeah.
Thank God for the box packaging at the, what do they call them? The
drop
box.
The drop boxes.
Yeah, thank God for drop boxes at the UK Games Expo.
Yes. So into our first section, let's talk about Hex. I'm not going to do an Adrian and do a little song here, unfortunately.
It's the only one that does.
I know. We all like it. It's good. What have we been playing recently then? Rob, on you, mate.
So Davey had the delivery of the year a couple of weeks ago when one box came and he was like, oh, that's not so bad. And then all the expansions came in a box the same size as the main box. So he's been playing Primal Awakening.
Nice.
Which has been amazing. So much fun. Like a Monster Hunter-esque boss battler. Little bit of story. You walking down and out jumps this giant creature that you have to kick the crap out of, which is a lot of fun. It's really, really good. It's card comboing. It's there's no kind of turns. The fights are quite reactive to what you use on your play. And there's loads of different weapons, heavy bow guns, bows, hammer, things like that, like your typical kind of almost Monster Hunter-esque weapons. And it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to play again. We're playing it again tomorrow night, and I cannot wait.
Is this your like third play?
Yeah, but you can usually get a couple, once you know what you're doing, you can usually have a couple of encounters in, sort of 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So yeah, we've we're kind of 4 or 5 monsters in now, because we did the prologue, a couple monsters and everything else, and I can't wait to play again. It's amazing. It's really, really good, like to the point where I'm absolutely devastated that I didn't back it.
Have you got the room though? Because it sounds like it's a bit of a Kallax killer.
No, but who worries about that?
Yeah, I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. It's never ever been a consideration for me.
When Davey said, "Where the hell am I going to put this?" I was like, "You can store it in my house. I have no issue with that whatsoever."
I thought he said, "Where the hell am I going to hide it?"
Yeah, no. Gemma knows it's fine.
How could you not see it? It's as big as your table.
He said he warned her. about the size of this delivery. When the first box came, she went, "Oh, okay, it's not too bad." Then the second box turned up. So what have you got in there? But no, it's a lot of fun. Great game, and having lots of fun with it.
Nice.
So what's the system like? You said it's card combos. So how does it work?
There's four colours of cards. There's shield, there's dodge, there's attack, and I can't remember the last one off the top of my head. But they kind of combo into each other. You have to pay for a card with a resource, a little bit like Marvel Champions. And then you kind of, you do your attacks, and then the monster reacts, and it depends on how many defensive cards you've put down, either shield or dodge. Cards that you've played down depends on how much damage you get back, whether you negate it completely. So there's kind of an element of, I can't go all out attack because I'm going to get hurt real badly on the end of it. And like I say, it's all reactive, so there's no kind of that you have turns, and the monster it's on a 4-player grid. So it's a round board with cut up into 4 pieces. Whoever aggroes the monster the most, the monster's kind of chasing them, and little things like if you don't move, the monster knows where you are. So you're going to get something bad's going to happen just by you not moving. So it kind of, the emphasis is to kind of move around it and work in tandem. And then you can only attack certain monsters from certain sides. So you have to get behind it.
On their weak spots.
So somebody kind of has to tank it effectively, or you kind of have to share it. And yeah, for an incredibly small board, it's a very in-depth game. It's easy to play, but the depth is definitely there. It's more strategic than probably you think it would be looking at it. But the minis I say minis, they're like the size of my fist. But they're really pretty, really, really well made. And Davey should definitely paint them because they look really cool.
Yeah. They do look awesome, to be fair, from what I've seen.
I'm gutted that I didn't back it. I really am.
I was gonna say because the board is small, you've just said, but Davy's boxes were massive. So is it mostly minis then?
Mostly,
mostly
minis.
It's just content. Yeah,
it is, and like
75 monsters to battle.
Like a little bit like Monster Hunter. When you defeat it, you get resources from the monster that then allow you to build weapons, armor that do different things. So there's levels to this stuff, and it's we've barely scratched the surface, and it's just been so much fun.
Nice.
So have the bosses have felt differently then?
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So the terrain, you put stuff on the map as well that acts like different terrain. So if you're in a desert, there's lots of rocks. If you're in the forest, there's loads of trees, and they all impact differently. So if you're next to a certain plant, you heal for 1. If you're next to a different plant, I'm guessing that the monster is allergic to that plant because it gives you +1 damage, and things like that. So there's some monsters that level up and they charge, and when they charge, if you're on the desert, you hide behind the rock almost that damages the monster, and yeah. So like I say, we've barely scratched the surface. But it's been loads and loads of fun.
Nice. I know Adrian's backed this as well, and he's wait. I think he was quite jealous because Davey started putting his pics on our WhatsApp group, and he's like, "Oh no, I've got to get my copy." But yeah, I think he's enjoying it, or will enjoy it. I'm sure.
I'm kind of hoping he hates it and he'll sell it to me.
That's fair.
But because Davey won't sell it to me, so
no,
that's my only avenue. But I don't believe it's coming to retail.
Probably not. They don't always.
Which I'm very sad about.
Well, you can still play it.
Yeah, I can.
You don't need to own it, do you? Says me.
What are you talking about?
Says me.
Yeah, exactly.
Says me who likes to own the games. But there we go. Yeah. Me then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go on.
Recently we played Eclipse, Second Dawn of the Galaxy, but with the new Seekers and Outcasts expansion species boxes that they released. I pre-ordered these directly from the publisher about 18 months ago. So I was like, excited. So anyone that knows, Eclipse is a 4X game. It's kind of got a lot of Euro mechanics in there, a lot of economy management, but still spaceships going pew, 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 and dice rolling. So it's good fun for that all, that kind of 4X vibe that you want from that type of game. But it has 6 species or factions that you can play in the base box. And for me, I'm kind of like, I've played them all. And it's like, I need a bit more variety. So then they go, here's 4 more. Ooh, interested. And also they've allowing you to kind of expand it to 9 players if you want.
Blimey, that would be a bit of a mission round a table, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. It's a bitch for 6. Like trying to fit that on a modern board gaming table like ours. It's a tall order. So
like
9.
a Knight of the Round Table, kind of giant.
Yeah. Big circle.
Yeah.
Big circle. I mean, conventions are ripe for it because you can kind of create that space. But yeah, generally you're not playing 9 players at home, are you?
I don't think so.
No. But I'll circle back on that. But no, the 4 new species, we actually did the game. 4 players came around and we played all 4 of the new factions. So we got to see all of them in one go, which is quite good for this because we can talk about them all rather than I played one of them and it was okay. So just very quickly, for those that like Eclipse, I mean, I'll reel off the names of them. Yeah, so you've got the faction I played was the Lyra, and they're all about building shrines. So their kind of strategy has been quite defensive. Turtle, build lots of shrines and defend them. And in order to build the shrines, you need to kind of spend certain resources that you get in the game. And quite a different play style to standard Eclipse. I quite enjoyed them. And if you build 3 shrines in a row, you get an ability at the end. So it's quite simple, straightforward. It was quite fun. Curly, he played the Magellan, which again allowed him to kind of score off getting more discovery tiles that are ship components that you can put onto your blueprints. And you could use his colony ships to basically get a wild resource that can help top you up if you want to get a certain researched tech or whatever. So that was quite useful. Davey played as the Roindi, which I think that's how you pronounce it, and they're like space pirates.
Nice.
It's basically the aggro faction that you can't build dreadnoughts, but you can only build the smaller ships, but they move really quick. They just fly around and basically just a bit knobby. So suited Davey quite well, to be honest. Played it well. And
he won, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I remember Curly saying.
Yeah, he won. It was quite tight, actually. It was quite a tight game.
Yeah, I think Curly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think Curly enjoyed it.
And the last one was the Exiles, and they're all about the orbitals. And the orbitals are basically like these space stations that you build and you can put your resource cubes on. But the difference is with this faction is that they are basically armed to the teeth. So they kind of act like star bases, but with the orbital benefits. So yeah, it was good fun to play it. I really enjoyed it. It's nice to have them in the mix. I've only played them, like I say, we only had 1 game with them, so we don't really know that much about them. But yeah, it's Eclipse. We had a good laugh.
Does it all still fit in the main box?
No.
Oh dear.
That's the annoying thing. I now have these 2 extra boxes because anyone knows Eclipse, the production quality on it is astounding.
It is beautiful.
It's amazing.
It really is. I've got no interest in the game whatsoever, but I popped all of the pieces when Curly... Well, there's actually not that much to pop when Curly bought his, and I loved the organisation and the thought that went into it.
The player
Fantastic.
trays
are
really
player
good.
trays are beautiful.
So you get 4 more of them, which are 4 new colours.
Yeah.
And, you don't technically need more, but it's nice that you've got more because it keeps all the components and everything in place, right? So yeah, it's one of them, but they take space up and there's no way they're going in the main box.
The box is humongous, isn't it?
It's huge. So now,
full Kallax, I would say.
No, 3/4. 3/4.
A full Kallax almost up, and definitely a full Kallax deep.
I can get Twilight Imperium and Eclipse in 1 Kallax cube.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering it then.
But I can't get Twilight Imperium and Eclipse and its expansions.
And the expansion.
No. So now, weirdly, my OCD's gone weird because I like to put those games together.
Yes,
4X games,
absolutely.
Right? And I can't now, so I have to separate them on different galaxies.
Oh,
Here's an insight into how my mind works, listeners. So yeah, they're
Careful.
next to each other.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
No, they're next to each other now, but not quite in the same cube.
Oh dear.
But no, Eclipse was fun. I'm looking forward to playing at a higher player count because with the expanded universe or expanded galaxy expansion, which allows up to 9 players, it comes with an alliance mode.
But our game group won't be able to play that.
Yeah, well,
Alliances.
I quite like it because there is a thing in Eclipse where you can easily see a runaway leader. Mm-hmm. You can easily see it, and sometimes there's not a lot you can do about it by mid to late game. And with this, you can team up with someone, and I quite like how they've done it because if you team up with someone, you basically you put your score and their score together and you halve it, rounded down.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to be
then.
sure that the person you're teaming up with is not dragging your average down, that you actually have a chance of winning as a team.
Yeah.
And again, more players, you can have more alliances and more people in them. So yeah, it's an interesting one going, should we team up? Because if you team up, you basically, your forces are as one and you can kind of take on maybe that runaway
Isn't
leader.
that a bit OP?
No.
Sounds a bit overpowered.
Well, it would be if they didn't have that add and kind of divide by two average system. Because I thought, how are they going to do this without it being like, well, my score plus your score will absolutely beat any score in Eclipse. Because a good score in Eclipse is, a top score in Eclipse I think we've ever had was 50.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's in that kind of 40s typically, unless you're all evened out. But interesting to do it. And also with the 9-player, I'd never want to play a 9-player game ever because of downtime. But the fact they've got simultaneous play as a system where you'll opposite ends, you'll have a token, and both of you will take your turns at the same time as you go around.
Oh, okay. So it's halving the downtime then.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So maybe not 9-player, but if you did 8-player, it should be roughly around a 4-player, maybe 5-player time. So maybe at a convention, I might look at setting one up. Yeah. So there we go. Eclipse. Good fun. How about you, Bex?
Well, literally 2 hours ago, I was in the midst of one of the only Mansions of Madness games that we've actually completed and won. Hooray!
Legend.
Yeah. So it was me, Curly, one of my best friends for a million years, Catherine, and her husband, Duncan. And we played I can't remember the name of the scenario now, but it's one of the Path of the Serpent expansion ones. And I did Tambo's top trick of taking out on the app the other expansions, so then it only used tiles from its own and the base, which saves you so much time searching through the entire. So the way I've organised it is one entire box has got sort of tiles in it. One entire box has got all the cards and all of those things. So yeah, it saves so much time.
Good.
So much time.
It's the only problem with those sort of modular expansions.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I struggle with Imperial Assault. So I've had to buy folders and actually label them 1 to 10, 11 to 20, so that when it says you need 15, 30, 31, 32, 40, you can find them easier. But that's the only thing I don't like about those games is that, when they're telling you to add stuff from different ones, which is cool that you can do that.
Yep, absolutely.
But the organisational side of it is a real pain.
Yeah, and I have put all the tiles in sort of half in baggies of the same kind, so if you had have put all of the kits in together, you could just look for, that one's the serpent tentacle one, that one's the train one, or whatever, so it makes it easier. But yeah, it was the scenario where you have to find the 4 relics and put them together in the correct order to stop everyone turning into serpent people.
Yeah.
And we did it. We actually did it. I think it was getting close though. When things are really ramping up and everyone's getting like 4 damage each turn in the mythos phase, you're like, we're not going to have long, guys. But we just managed to get all the...
Squeaked it through.
Yeah, we squeaked it through. All of the relics in the correct order on the plinth or whatever, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it was really great. We're like, yes, we finally managed to do it.
It's good when you win it.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think that's the first time as a 4... this particular group together have actually completed a mission. It was like, yes, get in. My friend Catherine, if you're listening, Catherine, I don't think you are, but if you are, she's normally very competitive. So it was nice that we won.
Kick the game's ass.
Yeah. And I also showed her walkabout mini golf.
Nice.
Her and her husband. Yeah, they liked it. That was cool.
You're still bang into that, aren't you?
I just love it. I just love it. It's just so realistic and it's just such fun, isn't it? And Rob, you love it as well, don't you?
I absolutely love it. I've had a hangover day, as we've all covered, so I've got very little done. I was playing the Xbox for probably about 3 hours today, and I thought, do you know what? I just need a break.
Do something different, yeah.
Hammering down with rain outside. I don't want to go anywhere, so I put the VR headset on, had a little round of golf, felt great afterwards. Just felt really refreshed. and then went back on the Xbox. So yeah, it sorted me right out.
I like searching for the lost balls. It's really good. I do occasionally have to go onto YouTube and cheat and find where they are because some of them are impossible to find.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit of a completist in that.
It's the one thing that annoys me about that game is when you can't find the lost ball, and I've looked everywhere. And I'm a man, so I struggle to find things at the best
can't
of
find a
times.
spoon.
Let alone...
But my best little cheat for this is to use the browser function on your VR. So you press your Oculus button, zip into your main thing, you go into a browser, go onto YouTube, put the video in of the lost balls, and then flip between, baby.
I hadn't even thought to do that. I take the headset off and then end up using my phone.
This amateur hour. That's amateur hour.
Oh,
and then you just need to press your Oculus button again, and you're right back into Walkabout Mini. Oh yes, there we are. Find it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I can't think of the name of the YouTube channel that is the best in my opinion. Inner Princess or something. And this is just this bloke who will just walk you around, and it's just great. Yeah, I know that Walkabout Mini Golf is not board game related at all, but it's just amazing.
I think it's, on a board gaming podcast, the fact that you had that in your Let's Talk About Hex, was it on the last episode?
I think it might have been
you
as well.
snuck it in, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
But I love it so much. I'm going to talk about that for 20 minutes.
I think it does bring to life for me one of my favourite aspects of board gaming around a table. You're not around an actual table,
no,
but you've got your headset on, you're talking to each other as if you were, and all right, you're looking at avatars of just floating heads. But when you're actually playing a board game, you're not necessarily looking at someone in their face talking to them, are you? No. I think I look at you guys more now we're doing this podcast than I would if we were playing a game.
Yeah.
So it's very akin to me to playing board games.
No, you're right.
There's a lot more swearing from my point of view. I do find it
you are a different person.
Yeah, it brings the road rage kind of aspect out in me, I think.
I said when we played that I've only seen you really angry at two things. One is Alexa when she doesn't understand you, but then understands Curly instantly.
It just irritates me.
And when we play Walkabout Golf, the language level, I mean, you leveled up.
Well,
massively.
Well.
I'm thinking, well, I need to step my game up a little bit now because the level of swearing was incredible.
I'm quite potty mouthed normally in my regular life. I do have to try and rein it in at work, and I do try and rein it in on a podcast because nobody wants to hear that. But Walkabout Mini Golf, the gloves are off.
Yeah, gloves are off. You're having it.
Yeah.
I think the best thing on that is I just become a wind-up merchant when we play, and I just like annoying Curly, but then I end up falling over in the game, and he ends up beating me. So he always has the last laugh. But I just, when he does a shot, he just completely like fluffs it, and I just think, oh no, oh sorry, mate.
We should look at playing the. Is it Domio?
Demio, the board game.
It's the board game
dungeon
VR
crawler. Yeah.
So it's a dungeon crawler where obviously you're all stood around the table in VR and playing
rolling dice, moving figures.
I would give that a go.
I think you can get a trial on it. So.
I'd definitely be up for trialing it because I love dungeon crawlers, but the fact that I could just put it on and play a dungeon crawler without having to set up
Everything. Yeah, that's where
would be amazing.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's what we've been doing recently. Nice. On to our main segment then, the second-hand games market. What does that immediately ring to you?
Cheap games. That's what it rings to me.
What about you, Rob?
A little bit of stress, a little bit of, oh Christ, am I buying something that's complete? Is the description correct? What if it's missing pieces that you don't find out about until like...
Oh no, it sounds anxiety-driven.
That sounds like glass half empty, mate.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a bargain, and if it's cheap, then I'll still go for it. But yeah, I do. That's why I don't look at like the bring and buy when we go to expos and conventions, things like that. I look at it and I think, yeah, no, I'd rather not.
Oh, for me, it's like the thrill of the hunt. Like a bit like when you're going into, or maybe you don't, but charity shops or like clearance sections in places and finding that thing that you like that's a bargain. And it's like, yes, I've caught it. That thrill of I might find the thing. You go dig in and rifling through.
You are
love
like
that.
The board game David Dickinson, aren't you?
Yes.
That's what you are. Bobby Dazzler.
Yeah, I just love that. One man's trash is another man's treasure kind of. I absolutely love that.
Do you like car boot sales?
Yes. Oh, yes. Car boot sales, any kind of some load of toot in the middle of a room crap fest. I'm a womble. I am straight in there. diving in. Yeah, I love it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because like whenever we go into like shopping, which is rare, and for those that have ever gone into a TK Maxx, right, it kind of invokes the same, I suppose it's kind of levels of stress for me, which is I don't find the thrill of the hunt that fascinating. I like cheap games and I like secondhand games, got no problem, hence why I'm on this episode. But yeah, the whole kind of finding something in reams and reams, oh god, it just does me head in.
Oh no, I love it.
You love it, don't you?
Yeah, TK Maxx doesn't do the same thing for me because you got to try the clothes on, and I can never be asked with that.
Yeah.
But finding, if it doesn't involve any more effort after the initial looking and seeing a thing, clothes, never going to be bothered.
Yeah.
Never going to be bothered. It just isn't important enough to me, which is why I look like a bag of crap most of the time. It's not interesting to me. It's not interesting to me. But yeah, other things like shoes or games or basically anything else I like, arts and crafts stuff. Amazing. I love that. Yeah, in charity shops because they got a mixture of all sorts of things. I'm not going to try reams of clothes on because I can't be asked, but you might see that thing that you know it's worth, but no one else seems to. You've snaffled it.
Got it. It's mad.
It's
so bad.
Brilliant. So I think, I know what you mean, Rob, when you're thinking, it might have bits missing or whatever.
Like the condition of the box does not bother me.
No, I'm not really worried about that either.
No. If I'm selling, I think it'd annoy me more if I'm selling a game that's got a box rip or a mark. Not because it like lowers the value or anything like that. It's like I didn't take care of it. I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, But like buying one, I couldn't care less. Like if I'm getting a bargain, if the box is discoloured or got a tear in it or whatever, I couldn't care less. But yeah, selling it would kind of annoy me.
Interesting.
See, it wouldn't annoy me. That'd give me anxiety. If I've sold something or someone's agreed a price or whatever, and then I will worry about it or ponder on it until that person has had a chance to tell me it wasn't good enough. But I think I'm the same that's why I never make anything for commission, such as any arts and crafts thing or anything at all, because that level of worry I put on myself until they've received it. Are they happy? Do they think it was good enough? But if I've made a thing already and someone buys it, brilliant. Like a board game, like if they've seen it, that's why bring and buy sales to me are so much better than, say, selling on eBay or Facebook or any of those things, because that worry is instantly gone, isn't it? If someone has seen it and they've chosen to buy it, then you already know. So that's fantastic to me. So what do you reckon we look for? What's that thing? So you're not bothered about box condition?
Not obviously if it's falling apart, that's one thing. But if it's got a tear or a mark on it, I couldn't care less.
But you're worried about bits, though, it sounds like.
For me, it has to be complete.
Okay.
And I think we're quite fortunate in this hobby that people will kind of be honest and let you know, it's 99% there. We're missing one token. Yeah. It's not an important token, but it is missing. Like, fair enough. That's cool.
And we're pretty lucky that things like Board Game Geek or whatever, you can look at the manual or rules book or something and it will say 20 of these, 10 of those. So it is quite quick and easy, isn't it? Especially if you've got an amazing insert, you'll know if something's missing or not. So I quite like that. What about you, JP? What are you looking for if you're buying a second-hand game?
I think for me, I don't tend to go, let's look at the general collection of what's out there and go, that sounds good and I'll buy it. I'm usually looking for something specific.
Oh, okay. So you've got like a catalogue in your mind, like a shopping list.
Yeah. So I've got a shopping list or, a bunch of games that I'm after, of which I'm more than happy to buy secondhand. Don't have to be new. And a lot of the times they crop up or you can find them and you go, looking for that. Have some of that. Buy it.
What's your price point? What would convince you to buy or put you off or whatever? What's that kind of, where do you sit with, if it's say £100 new, what would you like it? Okay, let's say it's not in shrink, it's been used, but all the bits are there. What's your kind of ratio of this is okay to buy or no, sod it, I'll buy full price?
It's hard, isn't it? It's difficult because there's other factors like, is it still in print and can you get it new? It's an important factor. So I've actually paid for a second-hand game that is out of print, probably what it would cost new, just because you just can't get it done. But let's just say that it is available. I could buy it new. It is £100. I think for me, it has to be probably in that 70 to 65% of the price for me to want to think it's a deal. If it's kind of 80, 90, I'll probably just buy it new.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
I
like,
completely agree with you with that. I've got this, and I don't know
tenner.
that it's necessarily 65-70%. It might be different for each particular game, I suppose. But yeah, I've then got that. Oh, do you know what? I'd rather just buy it.
I know it's there, it's done, it's new, it's going to be perfect condition. Well, generally, and you've got not warranty, but you've got the depending on who you buy it from, you've got the support of I could get stuff.
You've got the comeback, haven't you?
But even that, like you can get going back to your missing tokens thing. You know, the publishers, some publishers will support you even if you've bought a second-hand game and it's got missing bits.
Yeah.
And you could say, look, missing 5 tokens, this, that, and the other, and they'll ping it to you.
Yeah.
Unless it's of a certain very large board gaming company that I won't mention, but we all know who it is. They won't do it.
Yeah.
So,
I think from the Wingspan Water, calamity of 2023, I just Stone My Games will forever be absolutely at my pinnacle of customer service for that. It was Boxing Day on a Sunday morning when I emailed them or something because I was at work, I think I remember, and straight away, like within a few days over the Christmas period, they send me the cards,
the replacements,
and just not even a quibble, not even we want photo. I mean, I sent photos because I did, but I think they probably would have done exactly that if I hadn't. And I was so impressed. And the same with Mind Clash, when my Septima token snapped, they literally shipped a token in a massive box from Poland. It was just one token.
One wooden disc.
One wooden little, it was a paralysed token.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
the
map,
patient track, wasn't it?
Yeah. No quibble, nothing. They didn't even ask me to pay for postage. And that probably was quite a lot of postage for a little box from Poland.
Yeah.
But just so impressive. Whereas then you've got your other, shall remain nameless, companies. You think, come on, guys. It's top and halfpenny, a bit of plastic, but I can't make that. But that would annoy me. And it's just pushing you to go and bling your games up, isn't it? Not that I've got a problem with that at all, but...
No, that's your bag.
But I think, that is my bag. But I think we've got a really good community. Like if you'd have put out on, I don't know, insert your Facebook group here, whatever, I bet somebody will have blinged that token or done that thing, and you might have been able to find it. And I think that is a really nice thing about our hobby, isn't it? Everyone's they know what that missing bit does to people.
Yeah.
So that is really nice.
So yeah, I think price is a specific thing depending on many different factors, isn't it? So what I would be willing to pay for something would be different to what Rob would or you would, depending on the circumstance of actually how bad you want that game.
That's it. For me, it's how much do I want it?
Yeah. Because
and do I, like you said, is it available? You know, if I can pay 20 quid and get it brand new, I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, do you know what? I want it now. I'd go for it.
Yeah, I think because I often buy speculatively, I suppose. Well, I did that year when I bought about 1,000 games. I'd never even heard of some of those. But I was new to the hobby. I was excited. That's my excuse, So I was happy to spend 10 or 15 quid.
A punt.
Because and I feel like it is sort of like renting, isn't it? Because games don't really continue to depreciate as a rule in value. If you can sell it off again for what you've bought it for, or 5 or less or whatever, that's almost all your money back, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it does feel like renting in that instance. Like the Takanoko game I bought for 15 quid. Now that's not going anywhere because I like it, but I could definitely sell that for 15 quid or definitely 10 quid. So I've only wasted 5 quid and I've had a fair few plays, and that's fun, isn't it?
And the thing is, you get a coffee and that's nearly a £5.
Exactly.
So, it's like you say, I kind of think of it in the same same way, renting. It's like you're renting it for a period of time until you want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess what might raise the price up if there's like promos or whatever. When I bought Space Base, I think it was GridCon I bought that from, in their bring and buy sale from Paul Richards, friend of the podcast. Play him on Arc Nova. It's good. Anyway, hi, Paul. He put sleeves all in it as well. And I was so thankful. It was what a lovely thing to do. And I think it was pretty cheap anyway. Okay, the box was ripped, but like you said, Rob, I don't care about that. The bottom of the box was ripped. Right. So it's like, who even cares about that? You're not even going to see it from the inside because of the insert. But you're more likely to get sleeved cards or upgraded tokens or maybe even promos or something, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think that possibly would affect the amount I'd be prepared to pay.
Yeah, the box thing's interesting. If you caught me early in the hobby, I would have said it's really important.
Yes, I would have absolutely agreed with you with that.
Because I want it to be pristine. I think, as a product, I want it to be as pristine as possible. But now, I'm kind of like, life's too short. It's just a effing box. Like,
Yeah.
The game's there. I can still play it. It's fine. The box, it's literally a transporting mechanism from a shelf to the table. That's all it is.
I quite like it if the edge of the box looks okay, because that's the bit you see most of the time, right?
Yeah.
But there's 4 sides to an edge of a box generally,
Yeah.
so one of them is probably going to be right in it.
Also, depends on the box. Like some boxes are just containers for board games, but then there are some boxes that are really pretty.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my Witcher game, if that box was ripped, I'd be annoyed. But if I bought it secondhand
Well,
and it was ripped,
Yeah.
that wouldn't bother me at all.
No.
It's really weird.
It's about how much you've looked after your thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, definitely. So what are our favourite bring and buy places? Or, well, not necessarily bring and buy. Do we always go to bring and buys rather than eBay or whatever? What's our favourite second-hand arena?
I think for me, I don't actually relish bring and buys. Sorry, I don't.
That's all right. More for me.
But weirdly, I mean, Expo, no thanks. I think the thought of going to the bring and buy at Expo, even before the rejigging of the shenanigans that have been happening
Yeah,
over
we'll
the
come
years.
back to that in a minute.
But the thought of me standing in a queue for, I don't know how many frigging minutes of my day.
All right, what's your
So-
that's okay time? What would make the queue okay enough for you to go in? What's your kind of like?
I want to walk in and straight away.
Or literally, so
Yeah,
not
like
even a
GridCon.
5-minute queue. Not even a 5-minute queue. You're not
No,
interested.
GridCon,
Yeah,
as
fair
an example,
Yeah.
they have a room. I can walk in whenever I want and go, ooh. And now, if I leave that too late, then things would have gone, right?
Yeah.
But actually, last GridCon, I didn't even bother. What I do like is the pre-bring and buy, like Google Sheets,
Yeah.
that you can put your games on and
Yeah.
sell them even before the convention
Yeah.
starts. Now, that for me is perfect.
Yeah. You see all the kind of Facebook sales now, don't you?
Yeah.
In this kind of, time for recording run up to a big convention. And you get all this, we're selling for 10 quid, 15 quid, plus 5 quid for postage. Or you can pick up at, insert your convention name here, Aircon, GridCon, UKGE, whatever. That is my preferable way, I think.
Yeah, you've got the whole list. It's basically like shopping on a website. There's all the games, they're all listed.
Yeah.
You just go down, you can search out, sort by A to Z, whatever. Have a quick look and go, yes. But equally, I could put my own games on there and I'm getting emails. Oh, I fancy that. Fancy meeting on the Friday. Yeah, no problem. We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
So you kind of sold all your stuff before you even got to the convention.
Yeah.
And that's the way I like to do it.
Yeah.
And I think conventions like GridCon are really built up for that because
Yeah.
it's easy. It's not too massive.
Yeah.
Expo, I don't sell my games there just because it's so many people. Trying to find people at Expo is a pain in the arse, even when you know them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, even when you literally got their phone number in your phone and you're ringing them.
You know how busy those halls get, and it's like, yeah, we're in hall 3 on the row of the table. Which row? There's like 50 million rows of tables. Where are you? No, thank you.
I told a total lie there. It's not my favourite way. Bring and buy, the UKG bring and buy is my favourite way.
Yeah.
But it's my second favourite way to do that preamble,
Yeah.
sort out before.
Yep.
So we've got a pile of board games and I am not going to queue up in that bring and buy sale.
Good for you.
Because there's only 2 of my games in it and the rest are Curly's, but that's not just of it. I can't be bothered. Would I have done that maybe a year ago? Maybe 2 years ago?
Absolutely not.
Would I not? Would I not have queued up to it?
2 years ago was when the first time you went.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I wouldn't have wanted to waste any of the time, and I think that's why I don't want to do it now.
But I think, unless you're playing games, if you think, actually, do you know what, I need to kill an hour. For you,
Yeah.
for you, when we were going off and playing games that you had no interest in,
Yeah.
it was something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, it's like queuing up at a theme park, but there's no ride.
Yeah, but there's all the games, Rob.
Yeah, but still, you're right.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't queue up to sell the games.
It's like going to a theme park, queuing for a ride, but you get in TK Maxx.
Yeah, that's not a good trade-off, is it?
And I'm like, no, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Like you said about GridCon, walking into a room, see what's there. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, it's not for me. Whatever. Look, but it takes a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool because you're there to play games and you're there to experience it. I'm not there to queue up for an hour and a half to go and look at games that I might like.
I think when it gets over an hour, I'm definitely not going to be interested then, because that is just too long to stand up. Maybe it's because I'm old now and I don't want to stand in a queue.
My legs hurt.
Yeah, I think 20 to 30 minutes would be my cut-off, I think.
Okay.
That would be my... Yeah, and like you're right, if you guys are all doing something that I had no interest in. But then there's always something else to look at, isn't there, actually?
That's the point.
I would spend 20 or 30 minutes, because actually I just end up chit-chatting to people in the queue, which is quite nice.
That's the positive of it, though. Like you're right. I remember you saying that last time. You just end up having conversations with really nice people.
Yeah.
And you just talk about the hobby and you're talking about stuff. So it's quite nice to meet people in that way. But yeah, I think I respect people that do it, but it's not for me.
So I think it's interesting that they've changed the rules this year, isn't it? And that has caused some controvery, hasn't it?
I'm not aware of this. So what is the rule change?
Okay, so back along, you could basically take however much, whatever vehicle you wanted to dump a truck, your huge collection of games in, and take
roll cages.
That's an example of games.
I remember seeing somebody with a roll cage.
Yeah, now, taking like a little scooty thingy.
Scooty?
whatever. Not a granny trolley, because we know there's a special place in all of our hearts for the granny trolley.
And you can't get that many games in the granny trolley.
You can't really, no. Like the kind of truck that Joel bought and brings around. So I think that's probably fair enough.
Yeah.
Any bigger than that, any more than 20 games, this is where you need to go to eBay now or Facebook or whatever, because you're bordering on shop territory, aren't you? Mm-hmm. I think. And it took such a long time because there was no limits. People were taking games that were literally dross, that were just going to fill up the shelves and make it take longer for you to find that little rare gem that you're either looking for or didn't know you were looking for. So I think now the rules have changed. So you can only take in, how many is it?
I think it's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
like
an amount, a smallish amount.
Thing is as well, the Expo get any money for this?
Yeah, so they take a percentage, I believe, for charity.
Oh, okay.
So that's great. And I think that was some of the kickback from why they shouldn't change the rules. They also, if you don't pick your games up at the end, they take ownership of them and then they can do what they like with them. Enough. So there's that. But I think the queues were phenomenal, weren't they, for people taking their games in. And a lot of people just went, you know what,
even on Thursday,
Yeah.
Thursday evening, lots of people were trying, basically getting that bring and buy queue and queue up for hours, just trying to get their games in.
See, for me, I'm there to have fun. I'm there to experience new games. I'm there to even play old games with new people. I'm there for the experience.
Yeah.
For me, standing in a queue to sell games that, it kind of goes against everything the convention's meant to be.
Well,
for you, I guess.
For me, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously this is just my opinion, but have a good time. Do you know what I mean?
And I guess for some
go off and
people,
experience it.
Some people do have a good time doing that, though.
Yeah, they want to sell their games. They're trying to make money out of it, and good for them. They've obviously bought the games at some point from someone, whatever. But I think that kind of small limit. Now, if you wanted to sell more, they probably would let you go back to the end of the queue again and sell another 5. And I think that's the right thing to do, in my opinion. Please don't at me, because I don't care. But,
yeah,
but I care.
Our opinions don't really matter.
I care about all your opinions, but they're not going to change my opinion. Yeah, it's fine, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's good, because if you're really determined to sell 20 games, fantastic, great, 100 games, brilliant, crack right on. If they're worth it enough to you, and then hopefully everyone else, for you to queue up that many times, brilliant.
The counter argument for me is the fact that some people's convention experience is this, and only this, once a year. It's the only time that they can do it. And I can't empathise with the fact that if I had even 20 games to sell, and I'd had to individually box all of those up and sort those individually out, and it's just faff, innit?
Well, I quite like the box. So whenever, I don't mind it because I've got access to lots of cardboard boxes at work.
Okay.
And
I do too, because I buy games. So I end up getting a lot of cardboard boxes.
We've just got a ton in the garage that are just piled up on top of each other. Oh, we'll keep that box because if we sell more games, yes, I quite like that. And I take pride in my packing abilities, because I've moved house about 15 times. I'm good at packing. That's one of my skills. And when we've sold some of Curly's games, people have commented on how pleased they were with the packing. I'm like, yep, thank you. I'll take that. That is an accolade I will happily, proudly have.
Becky's the owner of the Packing Peanuts Corporation.
Shameless plug.
I don't have a packing corporation, but I should have one.
You should.
Yeah, I don't mind packing it. But yeah, that faff for me is going to the post office, doing. And I know there's ways around you can sort that out. It's fine. But the anxiety for me then is waiting for it to arrive. Has it arrived? They've said it's not arrived, but I think it has. Are they lying? Are they? We've all had that experience, and we've also been the people that have not received the goods and feel like, is that person lying to me? Did they really send it? So that does fill me with quite a lot of anxiety and apprehension.
Yeah.
Because the idea that I've let someone down is my worst nightmare. So that's bad for me. So I guess, yeah, the fact that it's instant at Bring and Buy of any kind, UKGE or otherwise, that is brilliant for me.
Yeah. It's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
In your head, it's like, I brought the games, done, bish, bash, bosh. Hopefully get some money.
Yeah.
Happy days.
So do we sell our games? Are we sellers of games? I mean, JP's nodding his head massively. I'm kind of like, selling? What is this thing? Selling?
What is this unique construct? Yeah, I definitely sell. I have I wouldn't say I have limited space, but I have forced upon myself limited space.
You've given yourself the confines of a very specific area to
Yeah.
fill. Yeah.
And it's a case of, if you've got too many, they start overflowing. Where they're going to go?
One in, one out policy.
Totally. And I'm okay with that. I was, again, early in the I was going to say career. It's not, is it? Early in the hobby, I wanted to have everything. And I thought, it's cool. I want them all. Like
Acquisition
Pokemon, right?
mode. Yeah.
Collect all the Pokemon. But you get to a point where it's just not sustainable and you're never going to play them all, usual stuff. So yeah, now I regularly sell. And I look at, the mood on my games will change. And I'll go, I really like that game, and maybe 6 months. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but what if you then suddenly want it again? That is my fear.
Then I'll get it.
Yeah, but
The thing is,
Life's too short.
there are other options. There are plenty of options. If you look in that cupboard, sorry, we are in JP's house. If you look,
No, don't look at my cupboard.
if you look in his cupboard
No.
and think, oh, do you know what? I'm in the mood for that. Oh, okay, but I'll get the same sort of kick from this.
I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying.
You just don't agree with it.
No, I do actually agree with it. I do agree with it too. But that FOMO of, I had this once and now I got rid of it. It's like why I'm a hoarder of all sorts of crap in the garage. I might need this one day. One day I'll be crying out for this bit of plastic crap
Life's too
or
short,
whatever.
back. Life's too short.
The only
Move on.
one regret I've had of my sales Netrunner. It's the only one
Yeah.
because I repurchased it.
Yeah.
Although I haven't repurchased the original Fantasy Flight, I
Yeah.
repurchased the Null Signal Games version of it.
Yeah.
But again, and that was just because I kind of got into it again for a bit, but I haven't played it again. And it's probably going to be line of the year. I go, nah.
Sell it off, buy it back. Yeah, maybe. My sister's husband does the same stuff with fishing gear often.
Mm-hmm.
He buys loads and then he goes off fishing and he sells it all. And then he buys more and then it's that kind of circle effect. But I worry about wanting it again. And I like to own the game myself rather than be waiting for someone else to play.
Yes, that is true.
But
That's why I bought Bones. To be
Yeah.
honest,
'Cause
that's
you-
why
yeah,
I bought Bones.
yeah.
But that was 3 years in, and I knew
you
100%
yeah,
that purchase
yeah, it was
was
solid.
was
Yeah.
absolutely right for me. So it's not like I played it once and was like, oh, I have to have that.
Yeah.
So you can get your fix in other ways.
You can, and I guess that way of testing it is if your house burnt down and all your games were gone,
Which ones would you rebuy?
which ones would you be buy? Yeah. And I've still got games on the shelf of shame that I bought in that very first Bring and Buy
Yeah.
UKGE excitement phase. Have I played them?
Nope.
No.
Are they in the pile to be sold?
No.
Will they ever be? No.
Well, I've watched the videos on YouTube of how to play them, 2 of them. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Would I rebuy them? No, I wouldn't.
The thing
No,
is,
I wouldn't.
we do get carried away with games. We get carried up in the hype of certain games. We get, oh, I need this. But like I said, there's so many different games out there now. Like, it wasn't until I went to Expo for the first time and saw how many games are available. It's like, wow, it's
mind blowing, isn't it?
There are so many games. Like I've got too many dungeon crawlers.
Yeah.
I've got too many dungeon crawlers, and I do need to sell some. But the thought of selling them, the actual physical act of boxing them up and selling them, like just instantly, I'm like, oh, I really can't be bothered.
Oh, well, if you sell them, I'll box them.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Shit, I said that out loud, didn't I?
You
I'm going to have
did.
to do it now.
You
Yeah, no,
did.
I'm happy with that.
Because I've never done it before. I've never sold a board game online. Like, I've sold it to friends.
Mm-hmm. Does that make a difference then, do you think? So what are you worried about? Are you worried about it going wrong? Are you worried about them not being happy?
I'm worried about me not, say, not quoting for postage properly.
Okay.
Not getting the correct delivery method.
Okay.
And getting it wrong and something happened.
Okay.
If somebody's buying a game for £100, again, it's not the end of the world if it goes wrong, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of money to lose.
It's a considered purchase, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And I don't want to cock it up to the point where, that customer, that person doesn't get what they've paid for.
Well, they are a customer, and that's where I know exactly what you mean, because someone's a customer of mine, I owe them.
So, to be honest, I need to sort it, but again, they're on the shelf. They're
not eating anything.
They're not in the way. Exactly, yeah. I don't need. It's not like I need to water them or feed them or anything like that. They're there just staring out at me, going, "Play me,
Rob."
and I tune it out, and I'm good with that. So yeah. In the grand scheme of things.
So you're doing exactly what I'm doing. You're just letting them sit there, and I have to tell myself I'm depriving someone else of playing them. That's what motivates me then to actually get my arse in gear and sell the stupid thing.
There's one game that I need to sell, and I've talked about it before.
Which one is it?
Arkham Horror.
Yeah, the card game.
I really want to play it again, but because it's such a heavy story campaign, unless I get 3 new friends that have never seen it before to play it. I'm realistically, I'm never going to play it again, but I loved it so much.
Don't need 3, just need 1 more.
It's hard 2-player, man.
Yeah, it's hard anyway.
Well, the difference between 2 and 4 players was night and day.
Yeah, I suppose. It's been that long since I played it.
But everything about that game, the artwork, the story, the feel of it, I love it. So
you don't really want to get rid of it, do you?
No.
But he's not playing it.
But I'm never going to play it.
No.
Well, hopefully I will, but I'm not going to play it. But there's just a little part of me that's like, yeah, do you know what? And it's not that I have to have that game.
But no one else has got it, have they? None of us in the group have got it. So if you get rid of it, you're never going to play it again.
But I'm okay with that.
I don't think you are.
I'm okay with it. The thing is, I want to experience it for the first time again.
Ah, so you want to do the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, delete the knowledge out of your brain, and then play it.
And I can't.
No,
so,
you can't.
It's... And we literally finished the campaign and it's all mixed up in a box.
Oh, you got to sort it, haven't you?
The thought of sorting it all out is a little bit like, oh, God. So yeah, that's the main thing that's holding me back.
Okay. So you got the reasons there.
Yeah.
So if we were going to sell it, what is the... What are the things that we look for as buyers? So I just mentioned sleeves earlier. I really like it if someone has sleeved the game. I guess not just because it's got sleeves, but because that shows me they care about the game. So I'd also expect all the bits to be there and all of that. So that kind of tells me that someone has invested more than just buying the game. Things like inserts, blingy bits, box damage. I don't care. We've mentioned box damage. What for you is the thing that I think that it came from a non-smoking house as well.
Yeah.
Because cardboard absorbs, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get rid of the smell of smoky bits. Ooh, smoky bits.
Smoky.
You can't
smoky bits.
You can't get rid of the smell of smoke absorbed.
Yeah.
Game pieces, tokens, whatever. Can you?
No, it's fumed.
Yeah.
And I don't really look for anything specific like the bling bits. To be honest, for me, it's got it great. If not,
is it all there?
I mean, if it's got an insert, bonus, but usually the cost would be risen because of that. I think for me, just good quality pictures on actually what's in there.
Honest pictures, I think, is the
not someone trying to scam you. But also, I would typically always ask the seller if they could send some additional pictures as well, or maybe on some specific areas of the game.
Yeah, and that going to cut out scammers, I suppose, or
it's just I want to be sure. Like again, if I'm dropping £100. And especially if it's an out of print thing, I want to be sure that it's what I'm buying. So it's kind of that safety thing, I think, for me. But yeah, it's versions of the game. It's I'll know what. Again, it goes back to I know what I'm after.
So you're looking for a very specific criteria.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter version or the whatever edition or
this particular
something.
game specifically.
Yeah.
I'm just hunting for it. So not for me really. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Present correct.
Yeah.
I couldn't care about the bling. Yeah, it's nice. Like inserts even don't bother me. Like as long as I can organise that game, whether when I come to set it up, I know where everything is. That's all I need. I love baggies. I love baggies. Like,
I don't mind. I don't like 7,000 of them.
I couldn't care less.
Oh, I do.
Honestly, I genuinely couldn't care less. As long as everything that's supposed to be in that box is in that box, I'm
You're
golden.
not bothered by it at some point.
Same with JP though. If I'm going to I'm looking for a game, or at least I've got a small list in my head,
Okay.
and I think if I see one and it's the right price, because for me that's the thing. Like you said, you'll pay a little bit more if it's out of print, or if it's value for money.
Yeah,
I think
it's
is
exactly
the
what
key.
it is.
It's not. It doesn't have to be cheap. It just has to be able to hold a certain value for me. Think actually, do you know what? I'll pay a little bit more for that because I can't get it, or I can get it for this price. You know, am I really, saving a tenner is not. I'd rather get it new for the peace of mind.
I totally feel you with that.
But that's the only thing with me. And to be honest, the only games I've bought second hand have been off JP anyway.
So you know it's all there.
And I know where it
it's
lives.
all
So
there.
if it is faulty, then or if bits are missing, then that's
you're going to help him search and find
that's
them.
a conversation. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, as long as it's present and correct, and you're paying for, and you're getting what you're paying for, that's the only thing.
That's the thing. You bring up an important point. So there have been times where I've sold games in the gaming group, and I'm more than happy to let them go cheap because one, the gaming group benefits from that, and it's not like I'm trying to squeeze every penny out of my mates. So Rob, like you say, Rob's had a few of the old games, and it's like, we'll do it for that. Right, I'm taking a little bit of a hit on it, but nah. Do you know what I mean?
For the easiness of the sale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the fact I don't have to box it up. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. So it's just kind of like you're paying for the time.
Yeah.
I remember when you sold me Descent, and you were like, do you know what? I'll let this go cheap because I know you're going to love it.
Yeah.
So you got enjoyment out of,
It got used.
giving it to me, and you knew I was going to enjoy it.
Yeah. That was it. And it got used.
Oh, geez, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I bought it, played it 3 times, and then it's out on the shelf. Whereas you played it, I don't know, 20, 30 plus times.
Yeah.
It got used.
What about when people try to hike up the price because it's painted or because they've got the fancy pants insert or whatever?
Yeah, you're right. If games come with painted minis, it puts me off.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's that kind of like, well, you might like that style or you might not like that style, or when you come to sell that game, it's a very specific taste, how you would have done that mini. And I don't really paint my minis anyway. I mean, if they're like shaded, like washed, that's inoffensive and it's fine. Like
I've done that with half of my Mansions of Madness.
Yeah.
Only because I saw them again today and I was like, oh yeah, I really should get around to doing all the rest of them. But will I ever do it? No.
Of course I won't.
Because I don't care enough about minis. We've already established that. So that Primal...
And also, like, for me, if I'm painting the minis in that game, it's not like you can just go out and get a replacement. Like the Warhammer stuff, you buy a squad for 20 quid. If you cock the painting of that up, it's not the end of the world.
No,
like it's annoying and
Yeah.
it sucks and you've invested time and effort.
Yeah.
But like if I started painting my Witcher minis, which are they look incredible. If I cock that up, I can't get a replacement.
No.
You've got to strip that paint off and hopefully not ruin the mini underneath.
And that's the point. And then if I do ruin the mini underneath, like the Imperial Assault stuff, I really want to paint that, but I can't. My level of painting is not good enough to guarantee that I'm going to knock that out first time.
I feel the same about my level of painting, which is why I would be prepared to do a wash like I did for my Unfathomable minis. So they're just all painted like this kind of amazing. They're not painted amazing. The colour is amazing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they're
makes it
painted
pop.
a really cool metallic-y green that I got from the last expo, and that looks cool to me. That's enough. I don't need to. Because minis to me, it's not important enough. I'm more likely to pay a little bit more if someone's got an insert that I like.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Because I value that over painted minis. But knowing how long they take, I guess you could see why people say, well, these minis are painted. It took me 20 hours. Yeah, but you can't really... bit like selling your house, isn't it? Well, I paid this amazing £100 of roll wallpaper. Yeah, but you like it. I don't care.
It's kind of like decaling a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be really... So you might find 1% of the people that are interested in your thing that love the thing you've done to it, and to them it's worth more, but to the 99%, they're not going to care.
It's what you find valuable.
Yeah.
And I don't find painted minis valuable for me. Some people will look at it and go, amazing, we'll pay another 50 quid.
If they're painted well and they look cool, great. But I don't... Even if somebody had the Mansions of Madness characters, which I think they look cool if they're painted properly, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
I still don't ever care enough.
But also, what happens with those minis? Like, you put them in a box.
Yeah, they get thrown back in the box.
That paint's going to chip.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless you're putting like foam around each individual.
And I'm never going to do that with minis because I don't care enough.
Exactly.
I just don't care enough.
I think we've established that we don't care much about the mini side.
But
of
to some
things,
people, that is a real.
Yeah, it is.
That is a real
That's
thing.
the
isn't
hobby
it?
in itself, which is probably a whole new episode in its own right. To paint or not to paint.
Yeah. Anything else to say? You wrapping up?
No.
Second-hand games.
Second-hand games. I think it's great that we're in a hobby that can do that, you know, and the fact that, you know, let's think about the alternative. What would happen to those games if we couldn't sell them? We'd be putting them in the bin. Now that's...
Yeah, that sounds very sad.
That's a sad thing, the fact that it would go for a recycling centre at best, right? Not talking about the minis, but like the cardboard and everything else would hopefully be recycled, but still, like there's a game there that someone's going to enjoy, and it's just about finding the right home for it.
I guess I heard, just as a one little aside, I heard someone talking about, but if you buy it second hand, you know, that designer isn't getting any more money. You're like, well, no, but...
The overprice of some of those board games, like...
Yeah, the designers aren't maybe
that's
getting
not
the
my
money.
concern.
The I don't know, distributor is or whatever they are. But yeah, I don't think that's... If it's going to make someone stay in the hobby, I can't imagine anyone who only ever buys secondhand games. Or maybe there are, but I mean, you know, cost of living and everything. This is an expensive hobby. I could totally understand if you only ever were prepared to buy secondhand games. But I don't think that makes you less of a board gamer.
Not at all.
So I think...
How you get your games, for me, is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Really is. Doesn't matter how you get them. I mean, don't steal them, guys. But
and don't buy the knockoff ones from you know, Temu or wherever you're going to get them from.
Wish. Yeah, don't get Terraforming Mars from Wish.
Although the pieces might be
better quality. The actual cutting of the punch board's probably a lot better. But anyway, but yeah, no, it doesn't matter where you get them from, how you get them from. You're a gamer.
My approach is more scattergun, I think, than you've got a list of what you want to buy.
Yes.
I'm just looking for bargains.
You look and go, ooh, shiny.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so maybe not scattergun, magpie approach.
Magpie, yeah.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Cool, I think that about wraps it up then.
Cool.
So, would you rather... I don't know what my answer to this is. Would you rather always be able to buy the games you want at a good price secondhand and then not be able to sell your games? Or would you always want to be able to sell your games at the price you want, but then never find the new games secondhand at a good price? To buy or to sell?
I think I sit in the latter camp.
So you want to be able to sell them for a good price?
Yeah, I'd like to sell them for a good price, but if I can't acquire them secondhand ever, it's not the end of the world for me.
So to you,
because I don't do a lot really.
Okay.
I sell more than I buy.
Okay.
Secondhand.
Yeah.
So for me, I would favour the latter. Yeah.
What about you, Rob?
I'm probably the same. I don't. Well, no, sorry, I'm the other one.
Go on, let's settle this one.
I don't sell board games.
No.
As we've
So you don't care about selling for a good price because you're not going to sell any.
You don't buy them either.
No, I mean, the thing
you
is...
just play them.
The thing
You steal them, don't you?
I just steal them, yeah, absolutely. For me, I would rather give them away. If I'm done with them, like completely done with them, I would rather give that game away knowing that somebody else would enjoy it than me throw it away, than me,
just sit on your shelf doing
put
nothing.
it in the loft. Do you know what I mean?
That's the board game graveyard.
Exactly. I would rather give it to somebody who potentially, because again, a lot of my games are dungeon crawlers. So if I gave it to a family and just said, look, try this, you don't like it, you don't like it. That's for, you know, if you don't like it, give it back. But if you like it, have it, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because the majority of people would, especially if you're family, if you've got kids, you know, that it's a story played out, you know, with minis.
Yeah.
So a lot of it would depend on the game, obviously. But yeah, no, I'd rather
buy at a good price.
I'd rather
buy JPs at a good price. That's what you're buying.
Which historically has been very very attractive for me.
He basically bats his eye. You've seen Puss in Boots, right, in Shrek. That's what he does. He goes, "Please, can I have Zombicide? Please." And it works. Go on then.
It did.
Oh, yay, Kallax space.
I tried it with too many bones and it did not work.
You're never pricing that out of his cold, dead hands.
Yeah, I will have to be dead for you to have it, but you got it now.
I think, trouble is, I want the new stuff as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
But I don't sell my stuff either.
No.
So for you, this is the hard one.
Yeah.
I don't do either.
I think if I did sell them, I'd want to get a good price. But if I knew someone was going to really enjoy it, that would be enough for me, I think.
Yeah.
Because clearing out the space is the more important thing. But that's because I'm in a very privileged position that I can hopefully afford the board games I want to buy.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be able to buy the games I want if I was really looking for that. Because we'd mentioned before, I get massive FOMO. So if I hadn't backed the whatever it was when it came out and then it went out print, I'd be just like bereft of life. So I think maybe always being able to buy the games I want at the price I want.
Yeah.
And then if I can't sell them very much, also fine, just give it to someone. Yeah. Rob can look at me with his Puss in Boots eyes and I'll just give him whatever game it is I don't want anymore. Photosynthesis currently is in my pile that I've never even played it. Never even taken the lid off a second time.
I'm actually intrigued by that one.
Yeah, I was too. That's why I bought it. Yeah, it's trees. Nice, isn't it?
Trees.
Dice
Nice.
Hospital, that's still there.
Need to play. You'd like that.
Yeah, I think I would. Dixit Stella, that's still sat there doing literally nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, there's not enough time.
There's not. Barron Park 2. Still haven't played the expansion. It's not called Barron Park 2.
Barron Park 2.
Barron Park, Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
I still haven't, because I like the base. I like how it works. But yeah, I've still got loads of games that I've never even played since then, and I can't sell them either. Because Curly said earlier, there's someone in the Facebook group wants to buy Dice Hospital for I don't know what the price was. Do you want to sell it? I was like, no, because I'm like, I watched the Paul Grogan How to Play, and it looks really good. He's like, well, play it then.
It's a good game.
It's like, yeah, I will sometime. Never.
We'll do it.
I think I'll choose to buy the games you want secondhand at the right price.
Acquisition strategy. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Good
Because
for you.
I just bought a new Kallax from somebody who lives around the corner. So we've got a 2x5 upstairs. 2x5, 2x4. Can't remember on the top landing.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
More space.
Yeah. That can be our version of the board game loft.
So
space.
you've got a tiering system now with
We
your
have
board.
now,
So
yeah.
you've got your Kallax in your living room, as we know, which is your prime display.
Yeah.
And now you've got one.
Well, don't forget also the two little 2x1ers that we have lamps on. They've all got board games in as well.
Oh, have they?
In the corners, yeah.
Oh, I haven't even seen what games on there. I've seen. Have you ranked them as lower grade as the ones on the
they're the
primes?
ones that Curly won't let go on the shelf. You know,
Fine.
like
like Monopoly and
no, they're in a completely separate thing. Yeah. Oh dear, yeah, we do have massive ranking systems here.
like a
How
C
do you
grade.
come up with it? How do you formulate this ranking system?
Well, the ones that are in the table that no one even realises actually opens and can have it's got the drawers in, where all our baggies and stuff. That's the top layer of that is a slidey. The top slides apart and you can put stuff in. That's got Monopoly, Cluedo, Cranium. Your old style family board games.
Mass market.
Game of Life, I think, is in there.
Yeah.
Which we never ever play at all. Scrabble, that's where my Scrabble board is.
Yeah.
When I said I'd feel really bad if those games went in the bin, if we put board games in the bin, I'd take it back.
Some of them I would still play.
Yeah. But I could.
But let's face it, I'd rather play anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the little Kallax in the gaming end of the kitchen, you've got those Perudo. That's in there.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. and Mrs. The little game card game. All the bits of crap really that I can't get rid of because they're still games. Oh yeah, then we've got the upstairs behind the bedroom telly that is like the hiding place for all the Monopolies.
All the different versions
Yeah.
that you have, yeah.
Wait,
Simpsons Monopoly, Disney
Simpsons
Monopoly,
We've got Simpsons Monopoly there.
James Bond Monopoly.
No, I haven't got James Bond Monopoly. And then we've got the Lord of the Rings Risk, the 2 copies.
Yes.
That's underneath the spare bedroom bed because it's a lifty up bed. It's underneath there.
Of the old Ottoman
Yeah.
style, yeah.
And then the Gloomhaven box, I think is Curly's Brothers. That's on the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need
And
to
you
sort
just
that
got
out,
another
don't I?
shelf, another set of Calax.
Just got to prepare for this year's bring and buy.
Yeah, I've got
That's
plenty of
true,
space
that's
to
true,
try.
yeah.
It's fine. I need to get rid of some stuff, don't I? Oh, this episode's turned into just me realising I've just...
You just need to put some of gaming events in back.
Yeah, but I don't want to play some of them.
I get, well, fair
Well,
enough.
there's your answer right there. isn't
know.
there, really?
But some of them,
I know.
I think you should go, let's just give it a whirl. Because a lot of the ones you said, photosynthesis, Dice
Yeah.
Soft, but I'd play.
Yeah, I
Happily
do want
would
to
play.
But then I'd always rather play something I know I like. And that's the trouble, isn't it?
That's like going to a restaurant and always picking the same
I do
meal,
do
isn't
that.
it?
I do that.
Yeah,
That's
because it's
fine.
safe.
Yeah.
And it's
It's not
comfortable.
that it's safe. I know I like it.
Yeah.
And I'd be disappointed if I order some food and then I see someone else's something over there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Food
really
envy.
like that. Yeah.
Life is for living, Becky.
Oh, yeah. And life is for playing board games and I know I like them. So I don't want to waste my time on some bit of crap that I don't...
You don't know, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And now it's time for our penultimate turn. You're not convincing me to get rid of them. What are we looking forward to? I'll start off. I'm looking forward to my big birthday, Games Day.
Is it the actual big birthday?
It is actually on the day of the big birthday.
So it's actually on the day and it is your big birthday.
It is, yeah.
Which is the big 40, right?
Yeah.
40. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I've always felt like I'm 40 anyway. I don't think I really care. I don't feel any different. I now look 40 as well, which is not the,
I was always 40, but now my age has just caught up with me.
Yes, my bones and my joints feel 40. But my immaturity level will never be there. But I've always felt like a 40-year-old woman, so I don't think it's a
I was
big problem.
more like weirdly stressed out about being 30 than 40. Like 40, I wasn't that bothered, but 30, I was like, oh, I don't want to be 30 because like exiting your 20s.
It does seem a bit...
But then kind of quickly got over it, and 30 is a really good decade
Yeah.
of your life,
Yeah.
you know, generally, because you kind of
When
know what's going on.
When I married Mr. Curly.
Yeah.
So, when I was 30, me and him weren't together. So I suppose I didn't have anything that I could... You know, there's like key moments in your life. Do you have kids? Do you have a house?
Yeah.
I didn't have either of those things, but I didn't really want them. That wasn't a key moment for me. So, yeah, I didn't mind. Turning 30 was just like, oh, I think everything's all right, isn't it? Yeah, it'd be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, 40, I'm not really worried about it.
Nah.
It'd be all right.
It's
But
good
yeah,
fun.
we're going to have just games whenever, whatever people want, drop on in. Or, yeah, just a
That's
chilled
gonna be
out.
cool. Looking
Just a
forward
nice
to it.
chilled out thing.
We
Yeah.
do like our birthday game days, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, it's just nice and social.
Yeah.
It's a bit of food usually knocking about.
There'll be food, mates, at our house.
Yeah, definitely. and we just play, games and just have a good laugh. So,
Yeah.
no, good.
What did we play at Curly's? Wild Serengeti came out, didn't it? That that Chris B, the ninja, Ninja Fryer Chris.
Yeah.
He really liked that game.
Yeah,
So
he did.
I think it's days like that you pick out other games that you've not played for ages or whatever.
And you will
Little
try.
party games.
You generally try a lot more than
Yeah.
you normally would
Yeah.
because you're already there. And it's like, do you want to play this? And you're like, well, I'm not really that bothered, but I'll give it a go, and
Yeah.
it could surprise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you guys? What are you looking forward to?
So I've just acquired the latest Lacerda game, which is Invention's Evolution of Ideas, and I've only ever played it on Tabletop Simulator before, twice, and always enjoy it. And now I've got the physical copy. It's beautiful because it's an Eagle Griffin production. It's chunky.
Yeah, their games are beautiful.
It's so greatly produced, stupidly expensive because they always are. And it's that big box Lacerda. It's like, yeah, that's what I need in my life. Another one. But yeah, we're playing it tomorrow.
Nice.
And not tomorrow, Tuesday. Doesn't matter. Podcast, who cares?
No, I think you'll find you'll need to get the date.
I think you'll find that you've played
exactly
it on
right.
that date, you stupid twat. And I need to read the rules and watch a few vids just to get it in my head because it's a Lacerda, right? And I've got to teach this mofo, and they're always a bit of a teach.
Bit of a hefty.
It's a hefty beast, yeah. But it's all about kind of, you are inventing, coming up with these ideas, and people are then inventing off your ideas and sharing them out into the world. And you're kind of playing as a society, and you can basically chain your actions using these chain tokens, which is where you do your combo wombo. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to chain into this action, and then do this, and then chain it. And you're trying to find loopholes in the game.
Why does Curly not like Lacerdas?
I don't
It just
know.
sounds
I
like
know.
it should be his thing.
He just instantly, I put the event up, instantly he went, no,
Which one did he play that he liked?
Lisboa,
Yeah.
which is my favourite one,
Okay.
which is amazing. Yes, Adrian, it's amazing.
Take that, Adrian.
Take that, Adrian. It's better than the Gallerist. Nah. But no, I'm just looking forward to it because I kind of got it, when you get a game and you get it all out and you have a look at the board, and because I've only played it virtually, to actually have it physically out.
When's it released?
Now, it's out now. Well, it's being fulfilled now.
Okay.
I managed to buy, going back into your second hand, I managed to buy someone's pledge using the Facebook group, because they were weirdly selling Lisboa to Stuart in our gaming group, and they were also selling their pledge of invention. So I just went, yes,
please.
because it's one of those, I wish I backed it kind of things, and I never did.
That's when I don't mind that things are brand new in shrink or whatever.
Because it was literally as it was.
You don't feel like someone's scalping you. They've just decided, you know what, actually, I don't.
And I just want their money back.
I don't want it. Yeah.
Just cover what I paid, and I'm happy, and that's cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because I love it. For me, it's just like brain burn.
Doesn't sound like it.
It's not for me.
No, I'm with you with that one, Rob. It's not for me.
That's fair.
What about you then, Rob? What
Well,
you
I've got three things this week.
Okay.
We're playing Primal again tomorrow.
Oh, he's loving this, isn't he?
It's so good.
It's not invited anyone else though.
So good.
Just saying.
We're in a campaign now.
Yeah, fuck that.
He had this conversation last night, and he was like, "Oh, really? I'd love to play it. I'd love to play it." It's a 15-chapter campaign.
I'm out.
Instantly,
Yeah,
he was
it's
like,
not for me.
"You don't have to play it that way. Obviously, you can play it singularly. You can pick a monster and fight that monster."
I said this last episode because it was on the couch, right? Or bearing our soul for Great Expectations, and that's what I said. I say I'm done with campaign games. I'm just done with them.
Not all of them, though.
No, and I did say the exception will be Elder Scrolls because it's literally 3 game sessions.
But I mean, this thing. I mean, if you did a solid 4-hour session, you could get 4 chapters done easy.
Nah.
He's still out. What else are you looking forward to, though?
My final day at my job.
Yay!
Yay.
I'm being made redundant, but I want it to happen, so it's fine. So yeah, after 15 years, that will be my final day, and the following day will be my birthday.
Yay!
So who doesn't love a birthday?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, busy week this week.
It's an important week, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Anyone that's gone through redundancy, I have. It's a weird one.
It's been handled horribly, and it's gone on for way too long, and I stuck it out and stayed professional and everything else. So looking forward to just kind of getting it done.
The end of the chapter.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. And moving on to bigger and brighter things,
Nice.
and very excited about. So yeah, it's a very transitional week for me.
And
Good for you, mate.
I know this is back after the time, but we're all very excited about Expo. But now
it was great
It was
last week,
fantastic.
wasn't it?
All of my Kallax are filled up with my bring and buy adventures. So yeah, I was hoping that I was going to be able to celebrate the end of my job being either get it permanently, which I was going to celebrate by buying loads of stuff, or no, it hasn't worked out. We're not doing the job anymore. Commiseration, buy loads of board games to make myself feel better. But I'm kind of in a limbo. We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to buy loads of games anyway. And
It'll either be to commiserate
Yeah.
or to celebrate. So either way, it's a
fine.
win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And now it is our final turn. So our game is done, and as we pack away all the tokens into their very beautiful folded space inserts, not an advertisement, but we will if you're interested.
Other inserts
over
are
there
available.
no, they're not. Yeah, if you're interested over there at Folded Space HQ, tap us up. I want to say thanks for listening, and if you've enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, and follow on your podcast player of choice. And we'd love it if you would recommend the show to some of your gaming friends and family. You can also support the show by becoming a coffee supporter, spelt KOFI. And we'd like to say an extra special thanks to all our coffee supporters who have made it possible for us to get this new swanky recording equipment.
Absolutely.
Legends.
Hopefully everyone is hearing the improved quality. I feel like we've totally leveled up our audio stats in this last couple of episodes. If you want to contact us, all of the details will be in the show notes at the bottom, and we'll be back next time with another episode. So until then, whose turn is it?
The Bring and Buyer's turn.